A $233 per month raise could be coming to monthly benefits as a result of everything Congress is working on right now. Let's get into it and discuss all the details. Welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you every single day to bring you all of the latest updates and to help you out in any way that I can as information is changing very rapidly during this time, and I'm very much committed and dedicated to helping out everybody in this community get all of the money and benefits that you're eligible to receive during this time. So thanks again for your support. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to share this video or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media. All right, hit that subscribe button down below and let's get into this and talk about how what Congress is currently working on right now could actually translate into a $233 per month raise to monthly benefits. All right, so as all of us know, just the other day, the all-important cost of living adjustment was announced out of the Social Security Administration that is going to be reaching tens of millions of beneficiaries, including Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, and VA beneficiaries, all encompassing about 80 million beneficiaries. Thereabout anyway. That's a lot of people, right? That's a large percentage of our population, about 12% of the population here in the United States. That's a lot of people, right? However, what Congress is also working on is something else to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line, which actually brings me to some of the questions that I've been seeing down below in the comment section over the last few days here since the cost of living adjustment, otherwise known as the COLA raise, was announced out of the Social Security Administration. So some of you have been reaching out saying, okay, the COLA sounds nice, but what happened to that whole idea of raising benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line? Well, let's talk through this a little bit further. Now, here's what we do know. The vast majority of the support right now is actually to raise SSI benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line. So the major initiatives that are out there right now and the major movement and like the bills that are going through Congress right now are for SSI specifically. Now, I do know that there were other talk out there like about other bills and proposals and initiatives and ideas and whatever you want to call it out there to raise all benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line. I get it. We've seen it, right? But here's the thing. We haven't heard a whole lot about all these other benefits. The major focus is on raising SSI, Supplemental Security Income, to 100% of the federal poverty line as a result of the SSI Restoration Act. So where does this $233 per month raise come in then? Here's where it's coming from. So, as a result of the recently announced cost of living adjustment, for SSI beneficiaries, your current benefit right now, or I should say the maximum benefit right now, is $794 per month. But as a result of the 5.9% cost of living adjustment that was just announced, applying that new raise will bring the new SSI benefit up to $840 each and every month. So, with that being said, if we look forward into when this new cost of living adjustment will actually be taking place, it'll be going into effect as of January of 2022, right? So we also do know that based on the questions that I've been seeing down below, many of you have been reaching out asking, will we be getting the cost of living adjustment, COLA, in conjunction with the new raise to the 100% of the federal poverty line? Now, this is a really good question because according to what it's looking like, many of the provisions that would be added into this stimulus package and actually enacted would be going into effect as of January of 2022. Therefore, if this SSI Restoration Act does actually go through and does get passed, it looks like it would probably be enacted in January of 2022. Therefore, that brings us to the question, would you be able to get both the COLA and the raise to the 100% of the federal poverty line? That's a good question. Here's what it's looking like to me. And again, we don't have specific information on this because they haven't exactly laid it out as far as like, yes, this is exactly how it's going to be. But here's how we anticipate this would probably happen. The raise would just come as a 100% of the federal poverty line, and that would be it, rather than a COLA on top of that, if that makes sense. So if the COLA comes in and then the SSI Restoration Act boosts benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line, basically what would happen is benefits would go up to $840 per month, right, as a result of the COLA starting in January for SSI, so $840 a month, and then On top of that, if benefits are raised up to the federal poverty line, which is $1,073 each and every month, that would be a raise of $233 each and every month. Does that make sense? 840 plus 233 equals $1,073, which is, as of right now, the federal poverty line. Does all that kind of make sense? So that's where that 233 is actually coming from as far as a monthly raise to benefits if they actually move forward with this SSI Restoration Act and boost benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line. Make sense? There's a lot of numbers. I get it. Now, here's the thing. We do know that they're currently working on this SSI Restoration Act. However, let's just say for some reason they implement it in March of 2022. I'm just throwing out a random example. Let's just say it comes in March of 2022. Well, at that point, the federal poverty line most likely would be higher than the $12,880 where it's currently sitting. Therefore, you may just get even a higher benefit simply because if the whole initiative is to raise it to the federal poverty line, and by March, again, I'm just making up a random month, it could be March, it could be February, it could be July, it could be December of next year. We honestly don't know because they're still working on it. Now, here's the thing. If they raise benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line in 2022, well, by then, the federal poverty line should actually be jacked up a little bit. It goes up a little bit each and every year. So does it raise by $50? Does it raise by $100? Well, we don't really know that until we actually get the most recent reports of the federal poverty line in 2022. Therefore, even though you may want to get the COLA on top of the federal poverty line boost, at the end of the day, just a rising of the federal poverty line may actually be a better benefit simply because it'll probably go up more than what the COLA would actually adjust for anyway. Does that make sense? So there's kind of a few different things here, kind of working. You know what I mean? It's like a gearbox. There's a bunch of different gears moving. It's like at which point is one of them going to connect with the other gear and kind of get rolling? Does that make sense at all? It's kind of a bad analogy. I get it. But anyway, my point is we've got the COLA, we've got the boost to the 100% of the federal poverty line, and we've got the new adjusted federal poverty line, which will be coming as of 2022, right? So it's kind of like, there's multiple different factors here that could actually boost benefits for SSI beneficiaries. Now, don't get me wrong, there are other proposals out there for raising benefits all across the board to 100% of the federal poverty line. But being totally honest with you, the best initiatives out there right now as far as like the most promising proposals and initiatives that they're working on right now is that one, the SSI Restoration Act. That is the one that is getting the most attention right now to actually raise benefits for SSI beneficiaries. Even though we've heard other people out there, people of major influence, the president, by the way, has mentioned raising benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line. Well, we haven't really seen a whole lot about it, right? We've heard about it, but yet it hasn't exactly materialized in any way at all. So anyway, but the SSI Restoration Act, I would say, is by far the most promising proposal out there right now to actually permanently raise benefits up to that amount, right? So anyway, anything could come out at any point. We got to remember, too, the midterm elections are coming next year. And what do they need to do? Well, they need to make sure that people are happy, right? So how do they make the people happy? Give the people something, right? In many instances, what do? Give the people some money, right? That's what ultimately makes a lot of people happy because it gives us a little bit of freedom, right? Especially right now. So anyway, I hope this kind of lays it out and lets you know where this $233 per month raise would be coming from. Specifically focused on SSI, Supplemental Security Income. So again, thanks so much for your support. Subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. And feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. Let's continue to stick together through this. And I promise you, I'll continue to be here for you every single day as your one and only daily advocate, helping you out in any way that I can, bringing you all the latest updates, and making sure that you're staying in tune with all this very important information. So subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my videos going forward, and I'll continue to help out in any way that I can. Enjoy. I'll catch you again later in the next video.